Every disturbing Wikipedia page is explained. Suicides at the Golden Gate Bridge. The Golden Gate Bridge was once considered the world's most frequented suicide site, with around 1,400 confirmed deaths over the past century. The 4-second fall from the bridge has a 98% fatality rate, and this Wikipedia page explores its tragic history. Perhaps most haunting is the section dedicated to those who survived their jumps. Bobby Driscoll. Best known as the voice and model for Disney's Peter Pan, 1953, Bobby Driscoll was a Hollywood success story turned cautionary tale. Despite earning over $50,000 annually as a child actor, his later years were plagued by drug addiction. At 31, he was found dead in an abandoned New York City apartment, unidentified and unclaimed. His burial in an unmarked grave remained unknown to his family until a year later when police matched his fingerprints. Project Artichoke. A precursor to the infamous MKUltra, this CIA experiment of the 1950s explored whether individuals could be involuntarily forced to commit assassinations via mind control. Utilizing drugs, brainwashing, and hypnosis, the agency sought to manipulate human behavior against natural instincts, including self-preservation. This page offers an unsettling look at these ethically dubious experiments. The Toy Box Killer. David Parker Ray, dubbed the Toy Box Killer, is suspected of kidnapping, torturing, and sexually assaulting up to 60 women, though no bodies were ever found. He kept his victims in a soundproof trailer, referred to as his toy box, where he committed horrific acts. Sentenced to 224 years in prison, Ray's crimes remain some of the most horrifying in American history. The Dark Side of the Wizard of Oz. While The Wizard of Oz is cherished as a beloved classic, the film's production was riddled with accidents, near-fatal injuries, and mistreatment of the cast. The Wicked Witch actress, Margaret Hamilton, suffered severe burns due to faulty special effects. Other actors endured toxic makeup, and Judy Garland was reportedly subjected to extreme mistreatment. This page unveils the grim reality behind the Technicolor fantasy. The Donner Party. In 1846, a group of 87 pioneers set out for California. Delays, misfortunes, and an unexpected snowstorm left them stranded in the Sierra Nevada mountains, forcing many to resort to cannibalism. By the time help arrived, nearly half of the group had perished. Their ordeal remains one of the most haunting tragedies in U.S. migration history. List of people who disappeared mysteriously. Every year, countless people vanish without a trace. This Wikipedia page documents individuals who have disappeared under strange circumstances from 1970 onward. It compiles details of their last known sightings, theories surrounding their disappearances, and ongoing investigations. The Dyatlov Pass Incident. In 1959, 9 experienced hikers died under mysterious conditions in Russia's Ural Mountains. Some were found with fractured skulls, others had missing eyes or tongues, yet there was little external trauma. The official explanation described their deaths as caused by an unknown compelling force, leaving conspiracy theories ranging from military experiments to the supernatural. The death of Brian Wells. Known as the Pizza Bomber Case, this 2003 incident involved Brian Wells, a pizza delivery man who robbed a bank with a bomb strapped around his neck. He claimed he was coerced into the heist, but investigators debated whether he was a victim or a willing participant. This page delves into the bizarre and tragic details of the case. Carl Tanzler. Perhaps one of the most unsettling stories in history, Carl Tanzler, a hospital worker, became obsessed with a woman named Helen Milagro de Hoyos. After she died of tuberculosis in 1931, he stole her body from the cemetery, preserved it with wax and wire, and lived with it for years. When confronted, Tanzler's morbid obsession was fully revealed. The 2009 Taconic State Parkway crash. Diane Schuler's wrong-way crash on a New York highway resulted in the deaths of 8 people, including herself and her family members. Toxicology reports revealed she was heavily intoxicated, but her husband maintained she never drank excessively. This Wikipedia page uncovers the chilling details surrounding the tragedy. The murder of Junko Furuta. This 1989 case remains one of Japan's most harrowing crimes. 17-year-old Junko Furuta was abducted and subjected to relentless torture for 44 days before being murdered by 4 teenage boys. Over 100 people were aware of her captivity, yet no one intervened. The details of her suffering are so horrific that the case is infamous worldwide. The Zodiac Killer. The Zodiac Killer terrorized Northern California in the late 60s and early 70s, taunting police with cryptic letters. Despite numerous suspects and decades of investigations, their true identity remains unknown. This page examines each attack, the 2 surviving victims, and the many theories still surrounding the case. The scandal of Roscoe Arbuckle. One of Hollywood's first major scandals involved Roscoe "Fatty" Arbuckle, a silent film star accused of sexually assaulting actress Virginia Rappe, who died shortly after. 3 trials followed, with Arbuckle ultimately acquitted, but the case destroyed his career. This page recounts the shocking downfall of one of Hollywood's biggest names. Aileen Wuornos. Dubbed one of the world's first female serial killers, Aileen Wuornos killed 7 men between 1989 and 1990, claiming self-defense as a sex worker. Her life and trial became so infamous that they inspired the film Monster, which won Charlize Theron an Oscar. This page offers a deep dive into her crimes and tragic life. John DuPont and the murder of Dave Schultz. John DuPont, a wealthy heir, became deeply involved in the U.S. Olympic wrestling program, but his growing paranoia led him to murder Olympic wrestler Dave Schultz in 1996. His story was later adapted into the film Foxcatcher, but the Wikipedia page provides an even deeper look into his descent into madness. Ed Gein, the inspiration behind horror movies. Ed Gein, also known as the Butcher of Plainfield, was a murderer and body snatcher whose crimes inspired films like Psycho and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. He exhumed bodies, using human skin and bones to create household items, including skull-made bowls and a lampshade of human skin. This Wikipedia page is not for the squeamish. Issei Sagawa, the free cannibal. In 1981, Issei Sagawa killed and cannibalized a woman in France, believing he could absorb her beauty by consuming her flesh. After being declared legally insane, he was deported to Japan, where he could not be detained further due to legal loopholes. Today, he remains a free man, even gaining celebrity status. The murder of Sylvia Likens. One of the most horrifying crimes in U.S. history, the murder of 16-year-old Sylvia Likens in 1965 involved months of abuse at the hands of Gertrude Banaszewski and her children. The cruelty she endured was so extreme that it has been called the most terrible crime ever committed in Indiana. Idilia Dub. The Wikipedia page for Idilia Dub recounts the tragic and mysterious story of a Scottish teenager who allegedly died in 1851 while visiting Germany. According to legend, Idilia was exploring the ruins of Launach Castle when the wooden staircase she used to climb the tower collapsed, trapping her at the top. Unable to escape or call for help, she reportedly perished from starvation. Years later, her skeletal remains were discovered, along with a diary detailing her final days.